Well, hello, my algebra students. I've decided to make your test on Friday, and it's going to be scientific notation, a little bit of factoring, and a little bit of reducing fractions. Don't forget your homework is due tonight. 5 of you have turned it in, 10 of you have not, so hopefully you get it in by 8 o'clock. And we're going to have the test on Friday. Make it easier. So since we have a test on Friday, I'm not going to give any homework. That way you can study, review tonight. Well, we're going to do something new. Today we're going to do multiplying fractions. Then tomorrow we're going to do dividing fractions. And then we'll go from there. So to multiply a fraction, if you remember way back when you were just wee lads and ladettes, if you had 2/3 times 9/4, it froze. I'm having trouble with this thing. I need to get new internet, I guess, or a new iPad, I don't know. But there's 2 ways to do this. One way is to multiply straight across. 2 times 9 is 18. 3 times 4 is 12. Then reduce. That'd be 18. That's 12. What number's in common is 6. So you would, well, technically what you do is rewrite it as a product. 6 times 6, 3 times 2. Then 6 divided by 6 is 1. 1 times 3 halves is 3 halves. Another way to do this, the trouble with multiplying it straight across is you might have very big numbers, or when you're working with polynomials, very big terms. So you can reduce it before you start. If 2 reduces with something on the bottom, it can be either numerator. You can reduce it. 2 goes into 4. 2 cancels to 1. 4 cancels to 2. 3 goes into 9 3 times. So you multiply straight across. And it's 3 halves. So if I have 6x squared over 5y, and I want to multiply that to 10y cubed divided by 3x, well, you could multiply straight across. That would be 60x squared y cubed divided by 15xy. Then you could reduce. 15 goes into 64 times. When you divide 2 things in base, you subtract the power and keep it where the larger power was. So one of these cancels one of the 3. It'd be y squared. Then you multiply straight across. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, so you don't have to put a bottom. And it'd be 4xy squared. Or you could reduce it before you start, so you don't have to work with big terms. So you'd say, oh, 5 goes into 10. Now, it could be on top or it could be over here. It doesn't matter. 3 goes into 6. Ooh-hoo. Y cancels with one of the y cubes. And x cancels with one of the x squares. So you'd have 2 times 2 is 4. X, y squared. You get the same answer. Now it's easier to reduce if you're working with fractions that have polynomials. So if I have x squared minus 25, x squared minus 5x, times x to the 4th over x plus 5. The first thing I want to do is neatly reduce everything, or factor. So let's say that instead of reduce. Factor, so this would be x plus 5, x minus 5. First step of factoring is factor out the GCF times x to the 4th over x plus 5. So the x plus 5 cancels, the x minus 5s, and x goes into x to the 4th. You still have 3 of them. So the answer would be x cubed. So notice if I said put 2 in for x, what's easier? 2 here, 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 and here, and then simplify, or 2 cubed is 8. And if I simplify correctly, which I did, I should get the same answer. So if I have x squared plus 9x plus 20 divided by x squared minus 25 times x squared minus 16 over 2x minus 8. So the first thing I want to do is factor everything. So factor, that would be x plus 5, x plus 4. Difference of squares on the bottom be x plus 5, x minus 5. Now notice a lot of you are going to want to go x squared divided by x squared, but hold your hand back. Hold, no, I can't do no. Times, factor out a 2. And difference of squares, x plus 4, x minus 4. So notice, I could not cancel this x with this x. No. This x with this. No. This 2 with this one. No. Now, the 2 I could cancel with something, but there's no separate 2's. So x minus 4 is ha-cha-pa. X plus 4, shol. X plus 5, yes. So my answer is 2 over x minus 5. That's what's left. So notice so much fewer terms to work with. See if you can figure out just one for me. X squared minus 1 over x squared plus 6x plus 5 times x squared minus 25 over x squared minus 5x. So freeze the camera, see if you can figure that out for me, please. Okay, so I'm going to factor, that's difference of squares, x plus 1, x minus 1. Now be neat, that's where people tend to mess up, is when they're not neat. That's x plus 5, x plus 1. Times x plus 5, x minus 5. And then factor out the GCF, which is x, so it's x minus 5. So here we go. X plus 1, chapoo. X plus 5, yow. X minus 5, yow. So what's left? X minus 1 over x. Now, a lot of people would want to cancel the x's, but no, it's x minus 1. So, okay, no homework tonight. We'll continue with this tomorrow and do division. Get going with that. So, hey, test Friday. Have a good day.